12 months ago, I had this stupid idea.
Bid, because you're already the highest bidder. I'm sure it did.
Oh, bid again.
We've got the self-build project, so what are our plans and what are we thinking about doing? Basically, we've got a 7.5 ton, 20-foot box lorry. Converting the front half as living, and then this rear section, just starting to look at planning out how to actually do this rear section. So it's going to be basically being split into two halves, so there'll be the front half and the back half, and the back half is going to be a garage of sorts. It has got a little bit of damage down here, so just need to figure out basically what we're going to do with that, and then we'll have a locker sort of in this side here which will go all the way through and around to the other side, so we can put sort of chairs and anything that we need to slide in. We've got full sort of width of storage, and then I'm going to try and put in the bottom here another locker within the panels that we're going to be fitting onto the bottom, and this is, I think, where he's going to hold the Bluetti, the AC 500. We can put 3 kilowatts of solar panel power into this to charge our batteries. This is a 3 kilowatt battery that we've got. I'm like Darth Vader. I should stop that, shouldn't I really? I'll turn that off. I'm wasting the energy of the world here. 5 kilowatts of output. So we can power 5 kilowatts of power simultaneously, individual items, anything up to 5 kilowatts. Can be complete self-sufficient. We can fill the roof up with solar panels to charge this back up. We can put as many batteries, 6 batteries, 18 kilowatts of power we could have. So this is going to be the main sort of technology centre that's going to power the 12 volt, 230 volt, all the inverting and what have you is going to be through that Bluetti unit. Going to sort of tie in with sort of running the electrics back into where the living section is going to start, just after this 9-10 foot area, and I can put all of the controls probably just next to the door, so when you walk in all the fuses are there, all the trip switches, and then that'll run up nicely then to the roof, where we're going to fill that roof up with solar panels to be then charging up the Bluetti battery system, so that we're then pretty much off grid. We've got a big locker. You can see I've started to make a few marks here, and then we wanted the door to start, but the door now really can't start until about here, so we're probably about just out, well, about 10 foot, because of where the wheel lands, and we're going to have to put a fold out step that's going to sort of come from the bottom section. That's going to actually fold out from there, and that'll allow you then to step in, and then the door will start in there. But I can't start the door really any closer than there because of where the wheel is, and obviously the step underneath is going to interfere with the wheel. So that's going to be about where that door sort of starts. And then what I want to do is put a big locker in, a big 48 by 48 locker in the side there, so we've got a nice big storage locker. So that's going to start roughly just past where the door, just zoom out slightly, so that's going to start where the door is. Now that the build has sort of pretty much taken shape, mostly taken shape, you can now sort of see where I was on about the different lockers, the doors, the section in the back for the Bluetti. It all makes sense, and sort of, as I say, 12 months ago this was just all an idea, but we are at a point where it's all usable and it does what it needs to do for the moment. So our step is on, our insides now, so we've got all of our flooring. So seating sort of layout planned out and made out, so the sort of the main structure is all built and planned out. I've edged all the top edges so we can put the knocking trim, so that'll all be edged nicely then. Rounded off all the corners of these side units to sort of match the roll of the seating. Little bit more progress with the lorry. We've got all of the seating area done, mapped out, and that's off for upholstery, so I'll start building that up soon, but we've got about 4 weeks wait for the upholstery. So next job is getting the flooring down, so this whole area needs to be floored. The entranceway needs to be all floored, and then I think we're going to do the steps as well. First section of floor done, so I've just got to edge it all now. Hopefully all the coloured edge is going to work and look nice. So entranceway still to be complete, but step is now done, and then the main floor layout is done, and I've now just got to go around and put the final detail in all around the edge, like that is there, and that will then just finish that floor off quite nicely. The flooring, so that has all gone in now, done. We've got our entranceway in, all of the electrics, solar, all of our control panels, etc. Pop some lights on, and then the actual basic layout is all sort of done, set up. So we've got a nice washroom, and the kitchen is all in and done, and then I've made all of the seating areas, so again that's all been done, and then the upholstery has just come back from the upholsterers, so again it actually looks like something now. Been a long sort of process, and again from those sort of initial ideas of what I'd got in my head, basically, what we'd sort of looked at, what we'd seen, it's all pretty much turned out as I wanted, I think. As I say, lots of little bits that I've got to finish off, so there's little fine sort of finishing pieces, the wiring, I've just got to finish off those little bits, but everything is all now in place, usable, and we're just about to go off to Scotland. The sort of sleeper pod isn't finished, but again it's usable. We've been saying this a lot throughout the build, and I think this is going to be a good test. The seating, last time we went away in this, we hadn't got the seating, everything was really good, but now that we've got all the seating, that'll convert into another bed. We've got the small little coffin bed up the top, and then obviously the sleeper, but I think we're away for about 3 or 4 days off up to Scotland, and hopefully everything will all pan out and do as it should and work as it should. So what we'll probably do is along the way, and while we're there, we'll see how things are going. She's still singing.
I think I might have missed him. I think I was turning on just as he was finishing singing.
So we are hopefully you've enjoyed the bit of the lorry build. It's been a long journey, but actually the fit out section hasn't taken that long, has it, to be fair? No. It's been fairly quickly. Lovely upholstery. So we used a company in Stoke-on-Trent called Elite Newcastle, and they do a lot of some of the proper horse lorry upholsteries and what have you, and I think if we ever get anything for a caravan or a motorhome, they'll do that as well. So really worth having a look at those if you're thinking about any upholstery, etc. Hopefully you'll sort of agree it's turned out quite well. There's a few little things I've still got to sort, and there's going to most likely be problems along the way that we'll end up fixing, but we'll keep that updated as we go along on the lorry build. So I've been saying about sort of checking fuses.
Here, so it's not all in this patch of sunburn.
So I've been saying about checking fuses, and funnily enough, I needed to check some fuses on the lorry because we thought that we'd got a cigarette lighter not working. Checked every fuse was perfect, and found out there's a cigarette lighter that I'd been given, the little USB adapter, it was actually that was the fault. So another way that you can sort of check the cigarette type lighter is, this isn't a voltmeter, it is a voltmeter but not your standard voltmeter. What you would do on this is would set to the DC voltage. So AC is the 230 volts, so that's when we're checking mains electric, and then DC is our 12 volt, which is what this is doing right now. And on our cigarette lighter we've got a little point at the back, and then we've got a little point on the side, and that just tells us then that we've actually got connection. And that's what I did on the lorry one. It showed that I've got 12 volt connection and that it was working. So again, you can do that sort of a check. So if you're trying to check something, if you're trying to check your leisure battery, make sure your leisure battery is working. If you pop your normal voltmeter onto your voltage DC, and then this will give you a readout of exactly what that reading is on your leisure battery. So a leisure battery, really you want about 12.5 volts. And again, we did a video showing you how to check the charger was working on the Caravan. So if you leave the sort of mains disconnected from your Caravan, check your leisure battery on the connections on the Caravan. So when it's all connected up, check it. Should be about 12.5 volts for a decent battery. And then once we've put our 12 volt or our 230 volt system on and our charger system on, we should have about 13.5 volts then on the battery, and that just lets you know that your charger is working. So that's why a voltmeter or a little tester like this one here is really worth having. This is a lot easier to work. You've not got to go in and keep changing all the different settings. So this will check our continuity. So if we wanted continuity on our voltmeter, we're going to go down to this little symbol, and sometimes then it's on auto at the minute, so that should auto select what we're trying to do, and that will sort of then make a beep like that on your voltmeter and let you know that the fuse is working. If you've got to select,
so have you got a cable for this to put some prongs on?
I've not got the cables for it because we use this for something slightly different. Right. So when on Friday's video we were checking this boiler, we used the clamp meter section of this, and we used the ampage, and that told us how many amps that the boiler was drawing. So again, that sort of is what we tend to use this for, and then we'll use this for our testing because it's just easier. But you'd basically then, if it wasn't coming up on that, you'd press select button and you'd select the little sort of, it looks like a volume speaker. Don't know whether you can see it on that there.
Whoa.
Oh. Can you see that or not?
No, it's just in the wrong place. Let's put it
right on there.
That's it.
So on this top section here we got the little sort of speaker sign. So with our select button we go across and we select that, and then we can do that. This has got the auto function, so when we're on automatic, when we put our prongs together, it should beep, it should make that beep, and that's how we can check our fuses. So again, last week we'd said about our LED fuses and testing and having the fuses that have got the little LED in, and when they blow that will sort of illuminate and let us know that the fuse has actually gone. But that sort of tester is very, very good. And again, on the cassette toilet on Friday's video, again we were checking the water pump in the actual toilet itself. This would help us check whether we've got power coming up to the pump and doing so. A voltmeter for your Caravan is very much worth having. I will try to put one of these into our Amazon shop and put a link into the Amazon shop as well. We've not done much Caravan-y stuff this week on Friday or Sunday, so next week hopefully we'll get more Caravan-y stuff done, have a look back through more Caravans, different layouts, and we'll also see how our trip over to Scotland went. Hopefully I'll have managed to get some bits of that trip in this video, but if not, next Sunday we'll cover that, and we're hoping to do a proper video on the Bluetti as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop us a comment, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark at the Caravan Place.